Now let's talk about pandas data frame. Okay, pandas data frame. So let's have a little bit theoretical about this, little bit theoretical. That number one point is, this is the most important pandas data structures that you need to understand. Data structures, okay, structures you need to understand. Number one. Number two, it is just multiple panda series that share same index, and also it is similar to spreadsheet. Okay, it is similar to spreadsheet, but lot more powerful. Okay, so make sure you understand this, that it is multiple pandas series that we have just implemented in the last lecture. It is exactly same, but it is just multiple panda series that share the same index value. Okay, and it is similar to spreadsheet but a lot more powerful. If you have worked on a spreadsheet, you would know about how spreadsheet looks like. You have some columns and you have rows. In the same way, we have the same important things in the data frame, but it is lot more powerful. And that is the sole reason why HRs and MBAs are also needed to learn Python for their betterment of the future. Okay, so let's understand it. So we have columns is equal to w comma x comma y comma z. Let's say this is the column, and these are having some 4 columns, let's say. Okay, then we have an index. Let's say we have an index and we are having a comma b, okay, comma c comma d comma e. Okay, these are having 5 rows. Okay, so let me write it here. It's 5 rows and we are having the 4 columns. Okay, these are 5 rows and we are having the 4 columns here. Okay, 4 columns. So basically these are the columns and index. Now let's import some of the functionality of NumPy, which is from NumPy dot random. Okay, import rand int. Remember, we implemented rand int in some few the lectures before. So this is the same thing we are going to implement. Let's say we are having a data. Let's have some data which is having some random integers. Okay, random integers, that means rand int between -100, okay, 200, and in the shape of 5 comma 4. Okay, in the shape of 5 comma 4. So we are having the some random integers between -100 and 100 in the shape of 5 comma 4, and then let's say we have a data here. Okay, so data is having these many values right now, and this is the values that we have. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's because your output would be much different the output that I am getting in my data variable. So let's keep it to same. Remember, we talked about random dot seed. So let's import that and let's put the seed as 42. Let's put the seed as 42. Make sure you put this seed as same as mine, and then we have a data is equal to rand int, and let's do the same thing, -100 to 100, and let's give a shape of 5 comma 4. Now we have the same output as me. Okay, so let's check the data how it looks like. Now we are having the same data as me, which is 279 minus 8 and 86 and everything. Okay, so now let's create a data frame. Okay, now let's create a data frame. So usually what we do is, whenever we name a variable for a data frame, we type df. Usually we do this. So, okay, so let's type df is equal to pd.dataframe, and let's see, and now see the argument that it expects you to give, which is data index. Okay, data index, and also columns it looks for, and everything is same. Okay, everything is, you can give optional, but you have to give data index and columns. What is the data that you're going to store it, what is the columns that you're going to store it. Okay, so data is equal to data, this one is the parameter and this is the value, which is this one. Okay, and but that means the numbers between, that means this whole data is going to store in the data frame. And now we'll have some index value, index that which is equal to index. Okay, this index is the parameter, and this is the value, and this index represents to this one, this index is just a b c d e. Okay, and after that we are going to have columns. So we'll say columns is equal to columns. Okay, we have to give columns here. So now let's run this code. Okay, let's check the data frame, how it looks like. Now we have a data frame in nicely formatted data frame. Okay, now in a very nice way, we have column w x y z, we have rows a b c d e. Okay, now we have very nicely formatted data frame. Now how to select an index here, how to select an index. Okay, let me type here how to select index. So we have a df, and let's say we are having a index as column as w. If we grab that, it is going to give you the column and the rows that we have. That means the whole column it is going to present you 2 6 12 16 30, 2 6 12 16 30. So whatever, this is the label we have. We can say the label, or we can say column, and this column is whenever you grab a column in on a basis of data frame, it is going to give you all the values related to that. Okay, so in the same way you can do that for any of it. Now if you look it closely to this column, as you can see, does it look like a series here? Does it look like a series here? Let's check that. Okay, let's check that type. Let's check a type of it. And now if we run the code, it is saying pandas.co.series. That means this is the series. That means each and every column of the data frame is a series. Each and every column of a data frame is a series. Okay, so you know, this is a whole series. This is also a series, which is xa, xb, xc, xd. Each and every column is nothing but just a series, and data frame are the multiple series on a common labeled index. Okay, so remember, this is a very important thing you need to know, and you know, just don't ignore this one. And if I'll say type of df, it is going to give us the type as data frame. Okay, now what if we want to grab more than one column? What if we want to do that? Let's say df, and you have to put a double brackets. You know, this is for grabbing, and this is to provide the list of columns, w comma let's say x or something, or we can say z or something. And if you run this, it is going to give you the output of the two columns, which is w and z, on the basis of labeled index. So that is how it is going to do that. And now how to create a new columns, how to create, if we want to create a new column, then what we'll do now, how to create a new column. Okay, what we'll do, we'll have a data frame. We'll see that, let's say we want to create a new column here for the data frame as new. We want a new column, and we want to name it as new. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to imagine that that column is already there. Okay, and you'll say df of new, and you can make a new column based on the other existing columns. Let's say df of w plus df of y. Okay, now it is going to create a new column based of the existing columns. If we check the code, it is going to give you the new column here, which is new. Okay, isn't it awesome? So you are adding w and y, so you are adding these two basically. Okay, so that is how you're going to implement it. That is how it's very you know, not w and x, w and y, 2 and minus 8. Okay, so that is how you're going to create a new column. Okay, we are going to do a lot of things regarding these. Now what if we want to remove a new column? Let's say we want to remove a column from it. Remove a column. So what will do that? Simply say df.drop, and I'll have new and present the column name. Now it is going to remove it, but we are getting an error here. And what is the error? It is saying new not found in access. New not found in access. Okay, so what it is doing is, whenever you want to drop a particular column, okay, let's say you want to drop a column or you want to drop a row, that means new can have, you know, the column and the row can have the same name. it is quite possible, you know, the Z column, and it can also have a Z row. So that is why whenever you are dropping something, so you have to mention the axis. And remember, we talked about axis in the last lecture also, that axis equal to 0, axis equal to 1. In the same way, we'll be having the axis also. So we'll say df.drop comma new, and we'll say axis is equal to 1. So now axis is equal to 1 means across columns. So now it is going to drop your new here. And if you see the data frame, it is still having it. It has dropped here, but it's still having it. That means, you know, it is not, you know, whenever you perform df.drop and whenever you have some column, it is not going to do it permanently. Okay, it is going to do it temporarily, making a shallow copy of it. But if you want to make it permanent, then what you can do, you can simply say, you have two ways basically. You can have two ways. That means two ways to make the drop permanent. Okay, permanent. Two ways to make the drop permanent. And what we are going to do, we are going to say df is equal to df.drop. Okay, and I'll say new comma axis is equal to 1. Okay, this is the first way. That means, you know, what you are doing, you are just reassigning the variable of the data frame. Okay, that's a good way also. That is also a very good way. Now let's have the you know, that new column again. Let's have the new column again, and let's check the data frame here. Okay, now we are having the new column again. Okay, so there is another way, which is the second way. So second way is also a very good way, but we don't know when this is going to get depreciated. So we'll say df.drop, and I'll say new, the same procedure. I'll say axis is equal to 1, and then I'll say in place is equal to true. Okay, but some experts say that this is going to get depreciated in the some future versions, but for now it is not, so we can use it. So now when you provide in place is equal to true, it is going to drop that thing for sure. Okay, so that is the thing about data frames. And now let's meet in the next video, and we are going to talk about some more important things related to rows. Okay, so that's it. We'll meet in the next video.